April. This week on Next to Nothing, we are joined by hundreds. It's May 4th, which means we've got Star Wars on the brain. We have some more legal stories for you guys. We've also got deals of the month you can pick up right now. All of that and more in this week's episode. Roll the intro. Guys, welcome to Next to Nothing, a podcast for gamers on a budget. I'm your host, Danie K. With me, as always, the wonderful, the beautiful, the Mr. Greenlee. Green, how are you doing?
I am doing fantastic. I just got back from vacation yesterday from Pittsburgh. I was doing horrible the first 2 days because of the COVID vaccine, but I'm doing great now. How are you, Danie?
I'm good. And on the COVID vaccine, I'm on my second dose now, too. It kicked my ass. There's no shame in admitting it, guys. It kicked my ass.
I had the worst headache of my life.
Yeah.
On Saturday morning.
Yeah, it gave me a headache, a low-grade fever, and fatigue. I literally fell asleep Friday night at 9:30 and did not wake up until like 10 a.m. the next morning. With us, 99.9% of the time, it's the powerful, the beautiful, it's the Revs fan. How you doing?
Oh, dude, I'm doing so good. I got to try a new coffee today. Hashtag Grampian Roast. Hashtag not technically sponsored because it's kind of part my company. Yeah, have a really good coffee coming down the pipes on that. So I'm really excited. And half of my driveway ended up under my house because of the flooding last night here. So that's cool. All right, it's not cool if you couldn't tell. If you couldn't tell by the fucking deadpan stare on my face, I'm pretty upset about it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go tear up the road. Like I'm gonna go destroy city property to make sure that there's proper drainage so this doesn't happen again. I need you all to go ahead and send, go ahead and gift subs and whatever so Danie can bail me out of jail when I get arrested for this.
I was gonna say, for legal purposes, that was a joke.
It's not. I'm literally going to take a plasma cutter and go tear up a tin horn so that way it can drain better. They should have
called them about checking the catch drain.
Okay, so here's like the thing. I have pretended to contact them several times. I have intended to contact them and didn't, but claimed that I did so many times, and I'm honestly pretty frustrated about their lack of response.
That might be the issue.
This week on Next to Nothing,
they should know.
This week on Next to Nothing, we talk about city zoning and how to keep your house above water. To help us in this endeavor, we have hundreds. Welcome to the show. For those who don't know you, who are you, what do you do, and where can people find you?
How's it going, everybody? Yep, like you said, I'm Hundreds. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so one of the biggest reasons I was invited on today for May the 4th. But I met my good old pal, Mr. Green over here. It's been amazing road with them, and now I get to meet Rev and Danie K in here, so it's awesome. I'm a Twitch streamer. I mostly stream Call of Duty. Twitch name is Hundreds as well. But yeah, I'm super excited to be here. Super blessed to get the opportunity with these super cool guys. So can't wait to see how it goes and from the future. So.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah, we are stoked to have you on as well. Guys, we appreciate you. If you guys are coming in from Hundreds stream and community, we appreciate you guys for joining us. All of our regulars, we appreciate your guys' time and attention every week. If you guys miss any part of the show, you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. You can take us on the road. Every week we have a question of the week. This week, in honor of May the 4th, we've got some giveaways that are going to be associated with the question of the week. Actually, before I get into this, we have 3 pairs of games we're giving away during this live show right now. If you do !BIGGZ, BIGGZ, you'll be entered to win 1 pair of Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2, courtesy of our guy, Hi, I'm Biggs. Seriously, we were going to do giveaways this week, and Biggs came in. He's like, you know what? I'm going to give you guys 3 pairs of these games. No reason. He just wanted to do it. He is an MVP. So right now, if you guys are in the live chat, go on ahead, do !BIGGZ and get entered to win. We will draw the winner at the end of the show. We have our question of the week. And our question is, who is your favorite Star Wars character? This could be old canon, new canon, movies, TV, video games, comics, books, whatever medium you want. Who is your favorite Star Wars character? If you guys answer that in the YouTube comments, you'll be automatically entered for a chance to win a copy of Lego Star Wars. Right? That's what we decided, Lego Star Wars for that?
Yes, sir.
Cool. Now, right, that's what? We're giving away
That
7
is
games?
7 total.
Wrong. We've got 8.
We're making it 8.
We're
He
making
said-
it 8.
He said wrong.
Wrong.
Tupperware. He's Tupperware. Say that again. Tub. Wrong.
We've got one more game they're going to be giving away through Gleam, so make sure you guys follow me on Twitter so you guys can see how to get entered in for that. That's Twitter, Danie K, DANIECAE is how you can find me there. So yeah, you guys have a chance to win potentially. What is that? You guys have, I don't know what the chances are of winning that a game is here, but you have a high probability. Again, question of the week. Answer this in the YouTube comments. You guys can get entered to win this right away. Who is your favorite Star Wars character? That will be that winner will be announced next week at the beginning of the show, along with the winner of the Gleam giveaway. If you guys do ! BIGGZ in honor of our friend Hi, I'm Biggs, you'll be entered to win a free game here in the live chat, which we'll announce at the end of the show.
Which means if you're listening to this on YouTube,
Sorry.
be
So, yeah, that's what we got right now. I think that's all the housekeeping we need to do, right?
I think so.
All right, let's talk some Star Wars games. Let's just jump right into it with some Star Wars games. Let's go. Green. I'm going to start with you.
On what?
Let's talk. You wanted to do a bit of a retrospective on Star Wars Battlefront 2, right?
No, Hundreds is gonna review it. Yeah.
Yeah, if you want me to start off, I'll go off.
Let's do it. Go for it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So we're gonna be talking about Star Wars Battlefront 2. So it's come back from where it was at. A lot of people kind of forgot about it, kind of left it, under their shelves. That old game. It's been out since 2017, so it's been a couple years. And it was slowly dying out. They revamped. They came with some new DLCs, kind of bumped it up. Brought the new retro Call of Duty games in, or not Call of Duty, sorry, not Call of Duty, Star Wars, sorry, Star Wars game like the new Rey, the Force Awakens, stuff like that, and it's super awesome. It's currently on sale right now for $4 on PlayStation, as well as I believe on Steam. It's really inexpensive right now, but it's an amazing game overall, especially if you got a lot of buddies to play with it. They have Supremacy. The Galactic Supremacy, and basically that's kind of like domination. You guys all take over, just go and take over the whole spot and kind of just make it your own thing. So it's really cool. As well as they have Ewok Hunt, so another really cool, like scary kind of type of game. If you play with your buddies, is Ewok Hunt, and basically you're a little Ewok or you're a stormtrooper, and you either got to defend your woods or you got to kick them out of here, or you got to kill the Ewoks. So it's really fun. All over around. Been really fun. I've been playing it like a lot on my stream. People are loving it. It's a really small community with that game as well. So if you're like a streamer or if you're anything along those lines, it would benefit you a lot to be able to get that game going, and you meet a lot of cool people. So that game is amazing. I'm loving it. Here's a little Captain Cody, Commander Cody. I use this when I play Star Wars Battlefront, so it's super fun, makes it fun for the chat. But it's really awesome. So most definitely check that game out. Like I said, it's on sale right now. So if anybody wants to check it out, buy it. It's really good. Multiplayer, the story mode on it is amazing as well. Story mode it's fairly short, but it gets to the point and it's really in depth on kind of what happened when Order 66 happened and stuff. So it's a really dope game, and I would highly recommend to check it out.
I have the first question.
Let's do it.
How is the team set up on the Ewok hunt? Is it asymmetrical or is it like equal numbers both sides?
Equal numbers, yeah. So
Okay.
so let's say we jump into a lobby and we got 16 people. They'll throw 8 and 8, or I think the max you can have in there is 20 peeps. So they'll do whatever because this game. I remember I played it like a year ago, and I kid you not, we'd sit in a lobby to get like 10 people in there. So like nowadays, like you just jump in there and like the lobbies will get filled up in like a couple of seconds. But yeah, they'll split it right in half wherever you get, and then you guys go at it. It's the Ewok hunt is super fun. I swear that's one of my favorite parts of that game.
I thought I was gonna say if it was like if it was asymmetrical, it could be like Dead by Indoor, but like a Dead by Daylight thing.
Dead by Daylight type of thing. Yeah, no, they kind of like put it like half and half, and then but like it's kind of crazy because the Ewoks are like super overpowered in that game. Like you can see everything, but when you're a stormtrooper, like I kid you not, it's pitch black dark. You get a flashlight that maybe lasts you like 5 seconds, and then you have to recharge it. So like you're like vulnerable, and once they kill you, you jump over to the Ewok side. So then you guys are gonna overpower, the stormtroopers.
Oh, it's a little bit like the infected mode from previous Call of Duties.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, so once you get killed, you jump over to the other team. You become an Ewok, and then you go and hunt your own buddies, basically. So it's pretty cool.
I really like games like that, like the infected mode or like Ewok Hunt, and I wish there was more of them. Like they seem to be relegated to like game modes. I would love like full size games that are just that.
Yeah, no, that would be cool. I don't know any personal like full on games like that, which I mean that would be really cool. I'm a big fan of those too. Like I remember when Infected on Call of Duty, that was super fun. But yeah, that would be an amazing idea for a future game to come out.
I do have a quick question about Ewoks while we're on the subject. How is it that they make all of their tools out of like just crude sticks and stones, but they know like the finer points of hairstyling like they did for Princess Leia's braids?
That's a really good question. We need to go get us one at Endor and bring them over here.
Well, they have to make rope. Braiding hair is like making rope.
Making rope, yeah.
But hers was so intricate though. It wasn't just like regular. It was like an intricate braid. And typically you don't think about doing that to hair when your species is just short fur.
Short fur.
I'm just saying Peter Griffin asked this question. Therefore it's a valid question. I guess technically it was Peter Griffin as Han Solo that asked the question, but regardless. That seems like a Han Solo question.
So you've got us on a good tangent here real quick. What is the best Star Wars special parody specials that have ever existed?
The Family Guy ones. I mean,
Family Guy one. I don't know if you guys know, but they dropped one last night or this morning of Simpsons doing the Star Wars.
I heard that the Simpsons, Maggie, right? Like I remember seeing a poster for it. I will say this though, 100%. Not you percent, but like the actual number, 100%. Hands down, best Star Wars related thing that wasn't actually Star Wars is the movie Fanboys, and nobody could ever change my mind on that because it was so fucking good.
It is fantastic.
It is. Oh, and nobody, so many people haven't seen it. Like,
it's very niche. It's very niche. Like a lot of people like normal people won't get the jokes, but like if you like Star Wars, like because it's got like every comedian in that movie. I think Seth Rogen plays three different characters. Yeah.
Well, it's got
Ray Park.
Princess Leia. Ray Park makes a Darth Maul reference in it. It's so funny.
It's so fucking
because
good.
it takes place before Episode 1, but it was filmed like way after Episode 1, and oh my god, it is so freaking good. I'm watching it in my Discord tonight. If anybody wants
it. Yeah, it's highly recommended.
Yeah,
I did play Battlefront 2 though. Like I was playing it today.
Oh yeah, you were.
Yeah, because Apex wouldn't let me in due to server issues. So I picked this up with the Epic sale, or when it was free on Epic. I had it on PlayStation 4 when it was on sale last year for I think it was like $6. What I was really surprised of, because like when it first came out, there was like a huge amount of like loot boxes and microtransactions in it.
Probably the most
The biggest
the biggest
loot box
backlash.
thing.
Yeah. It was
So-
literally, I mean, it literally made senators want to legislate.
Yeah.
It was the
Yeah,
first
so-
game to make that happen.
Oh yeah.
So when I played today, because I hadn't played it in a long time, I saw zero monetary things.
Yeah.
Like there was no way to put money in to buy anything. All the DLCs that they've released for Battlefront 2 are completely free. You don't pay a dime for the DLCs. I had no problems getting into matches. I did try to play Ewok Hunt today, but the queue was a little bit slower than Supremacy, and I kind of just got like impatient. But like Supremacy loaded up really fast. The picking heroes was kind of a pain, because like someone could select them first and use that hero. But I mean, I did get a chance to play as like Dooku, Grievous, and stuff like that. So all around, it was. I would definitely recommend picking it up now that it's not shit. On the loot box end, right now today on Steam it's $11.99. Usually it's on sale for about $40. So if you can get it on a sale, I know like spring sale is on Humble right now. The summer sale is coming up, or if you're watching live today, or tonight on YouTube or the podcast things, $11.99 I think would be worth it if you didn't pick it up on the Epic free day. So
Cool. So I have a Star Wars game, and I will say I'm not a huge Star Wars fan, so I was kind of looking for something to add, maybe add to the discussion here. Galaxy of Heroes, which is a mobile game, free to play mobile game for the Star Wars fans out there, where you collect your favorite Star Wars heroes and fight in turn-based battles. I played maybe 2 hours tops of this game, and I will say it is best compared to everyone's favorite turn-based mobile RPG, Raid Shadow Legends.
This podcast brought to you by not Raid Shadow Legends.
Get the explosions and stuff ready. Legit. This game
I got
is
sparklers. That's all. The best I could do is sparklers.
That's all you could do with my pyrotechnics deposit. God, man.
Yeah.
I like snakes.
I'll go get them.
I played a little bit of it. Like I said, it literally is like if you've played Raid Shadow Legends, you have played Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. You unlock characters like Chewbacca. You got like 4 different versions of Luke you can unlock. Different clone troopers, a couple different like generic ass Jedi. I mean, every character is in here. And you go through light side or dark side battles in your favorite Star Wars set pieces like Hoth. Turn-based, each character has a different ability. It's also a game that is very clearly designed to be a whale trap. So if you have problems spending money on games, and by problem, I mean like if you have like gambling problems, this is not a game to pick up. If you can control yourself and or don't mind a lot of grind, probably worth picking up. That's just like my first impressions on Galaxy of Heroes. Not meant to be like a full review, just a full first impressions. Green, did you have anything else you wanted to add to our Star Wars game discussion here?
Yeah, like Steam right now and Humble both have like a deal where you can get like all of their Star Wars games that they have for like a fraction of the cost of buying them individually. So like if you're interested in playing like all the old Star Wars games and you don't have any of them, I mean for I think it's like $80 on Steam. I think the one I saw on Humble was like $54. It comes with like all the classics, like classic Battlefront 2, Knights of the Old Republic, Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, Republic Commando. I know we just reviewed the remake of that. Yeah, the Star Wars games are really accessible, especially the old ones. You can practically play them on anything, and they're like relatively cheap, especially on a day like today because it's Star Wars Day.
Yeah.
Force Unleashed is fucking fantastic.
Yeah. Anything else on Star Wars?
Oh, I don't know if you guys are. I know that I told you guys about the Simpsons. The Simpsons remake with the Star Wars. They brought out a new show called The Bad Batch. I'm not sure if you guys heard of that. But it's a spin-off off one of the shows called The Clone Wars. So they are. It's a really cool show. I watched it this morning. It was amazing. So if anybody has Disney Plus and want to watch The Bad Batch, it's a spin-off off of the Clone Wars. Kind of shows a basic little around it is there's defective clones, and they made a personal squad, which is 5 of them. It's Rek, Echo, Recon, I believe, and then the last one's the other 2. I don't remember what their names were. And basically shows what happens after Order 66, after the Jedis were executed, and kind of goes from there. So it's a really, really cool show. I highly recommend it. I watched it this morning. It was about 70 minutes long, so they did a pretty decent start off the intro. So it's really cool. Came out tonight. Yeah.
Talking about Star Wars shows, what is just badass, and I don't think it's enough credit. The old Cartoon Network Clone Wars shorts that were produced by Genndy Tartakovsky.
That was a whole season, though. That was what, in 2005, I believe. And like it introduced what was his name? Droll, I think. He was essentially like a worm, like a manifestation of worms, like Halo's hunters. And he was like a bounty hunter.
Oh yeah.
And like Obi-Wan was fighting. It was fucking dope. It was dope.
Yeah.
And Asajj Ventress, but they never named her until like the actual like Clone Wars series.
Clone Wars series, yeah.
Yeah, like Asajj was fucking.
Yeah, she's badass. Yeah.
Dummy thick.
Yeah.
Damn, she thick.
So,
I have an issue.
Yeah, I mean, which is dope. Like I think you can find most of that on YouTube now. But you know what else is like fucking cool and badass? Teenage Blob.
Oh, hey,
Rev.
That's me.
Yeah, tell us about Teenage Blob.
All right, so completely not Star Wars related, changing the subject so freaking drastically. Teenage Blob is this interesting little game made by it was like a collaborative effort between the band the Super Weeks and game devs Team Laserbeam. And it's like this collaborative effort where you play this kind of like blobish looking character. You kind of get to customize them a little bit. And the whole thing is you go out, like as you can see on the screen, there's like a map that shows these different things. These are all little jobs you do throughout the day to try to earn money. And there are achievements that come along with it. And each level has like its own actual like soundtrack song to go with it. And what it ends up doing, you're saving up money to get some really awesome boots to go to the Super Weeks concert later that night. And like all the little different jobs are almost like mini games. Like one's very similar to Paperboy. One is almost like a Tony Hawk Pro Skater, but side scroller style. And it's got a bunch of these little, just kind of like mini games that allow you to. There's one that's almost like Guitar Hero is really cool, but yeah, it's a ton of fun. It's got a really great soundtrack. I've actually got to kind of chat with the Super Weeks after having played it, and there's one random part when you're playing the Paperboy one where some dude riding by just tells you have a nice butthole. So there's that's cool. But aside from that, yeah, it's just a super fun chill game with a great soundtrack. Very short. I don't remember how much it cost, but it's not very much, I don't believe. I will say this though, if you do plan on building content around it, it does have the kind of like auto demonetization with it. You won't get a copyright strike, but you will get your revenue sent over to the Super Weeks. Heads up on that if you ever want to make content out of it. But it's a ton of fun. It was a great game. I loved it. It was a very pleasant experience. I had a big smile on my face the whole time. Relatively short. It was a relatively short game because it's literally just like games over the course of like 6 songs, I think 6, maybe 7, and then you're just kind of done with the game. But it was a very pleasant experience, and overall, like I would highly recommend checking it out if you haven't like watched gameplay of it already, because it is very linear. There's not any extra stuff you could do other than maybe doing better or worse on something to get the achievements. Aside from that, yeah, it's just super chill playthrough. Very fun little just 30-minute sit down and play.
Yeah, so real quick, it is retailing for $8 American. It has gone on sale. The lowest on Steam is $5.35, a 33% discount. If you want to play it on your PC, the minimum specs are Windows Vista or newer, 2.6 gigahertz dual core processor, 4 gigs of RAM, a graphics card or integrated graphics with 1024 megabit video memory, and DirectX 10 and 3 gigs of space available. Can you describe to me what the Super Weeks sound like? Because I don't think I've ever heard them. And judging by this, I'm going to go psychedelic indie with punk influences, just on the visuals of the game.
That's not a bad assessment. That is actually not that's not very far off. I got a lot of hints of like kind of like a Weezer kind of sound to it. Like I remember feeling like a lot of the songs had a very Weezer-esque feel to them, but a little bit more like faster paced than a lot of Weezer songs are. Not by a ton. It wasn't like super fast or anything, but it was definitely, I got a bunch of Weezer vibes from it. But yeah, that's a very, very close depiction of what they sound like. I like their music. I actually added them to my Spotify playlist after playing, because I was like, I really enjoy this. This is something I could actually see myself like cruising around, going to pick up my kids from school, like the fucking old man that I am, and listening to it.
What a fucking dad.
What a dad. I have
What
the
a
bod to
dad.
match, so it works.
Oh, I did forget to check. Let me double check real quick. And what else it's on? I think it's only on PC. It didn't say any.
I believe so. I believe it is. I know that if I'm not mistaken, you can also get like the actual like soundtrack as a digital download with the game in a bundle. Not entirely. I'll need to double check on that, but I believe that's in one of the bundles on Steam.
Yeah, it is on Mac operating systems as well.
Oh,
nice,
look.
nice.
So,
the Apple fanboys have something to listen to, since nobody's getting any audio recordings from the courtroom.
which we'll talk about that
when we have something to talk about.
Well, I was gonna say we'll talk a little bit about the courtroom stuff here after the break, guys. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Be right there. Don't forget, if you're watching live, use !Biggs BIGGZ to get entered to win one of 3 pairs of Knights of the Old Republic. We'll be right back.
Are you a coffee lover? Do you need a little pep in your step in the morning? What about knowing where your coffee comes from? Is that important? Well, try Grampian Roasts Coffee on Etsy. That's Grampian, GRAMPIAN, and see our selection of single origin and blended coffees. Use code REVSVEN, REVSVEN, at checkout to save 15% off of your purchase.
And we're back. Welcome back to the show, everybody. So, it has been... The prophecy has been foretold of, that this day would come. The Epic vs. Apple lawsuit. Finally reaching the courtroom. Before we get into that...
I will say I'm surprised. I'll throw that out there. I'm surprised it made it to the courtrooms. I really am.
Yeah.
I thought something would, like a settlement or something, or some kind of deal would be struck outside. I did not expect this to actually make it to the courts. Oh,
I did 100%. So here's a few things. First off, I want to mention a little bit more about Apple. The EU has actually charged Apple with antitrust violations in the case involving Spotify over there on the continent. Regulators said that Apple, quote, distorted competition by limiting how app developers can inform users about the ways they can subscribe for cheaper. Quote, this is about the central role of app stores in the digital economy. An app store can be a gatekeeper, in particular, if there is only one app store available in a mobile ecosystem, said Marguerite Vestager, who is in charge of competition enforcement at the European Commission, and she said that in a press conference. So it's interesting. It seems we're at a point in time where, if you look back like 100 years ago, like especially at American history, we are back where we were with the oil barons and the steel, like the Vanderbilts, the Rockefellers. It's amazing that we have gone full circle, but it's just digital this time. Just something I noticed while reading all of today's stories. And they do affect you guys at home. They do affect how much money you have to spend on games, and where your money goes when you spend on app stores and stuff like that. So it is important to pay attention to, which is why we mention it almost every week. It feels like that for like the last 3 months. But back to Epic. The trial yesterday started like a proper dumpster fire. Anyone who has had a virtual meeting in a corporate office has had this experience in which they forgot to mute anyone who wasn't supposed to be speaking. It's guys, it's just too good to be true.
Fresh hell too. Like that is like its own type of hell. Is when like someone's trying to talk, like mute your mics, and people like don't mute their mics, and they keep like sitting there for like 5 minutes. Just like, anyone who's not supposed to be talking, mute your mics now, please.
Yeah,
all the time.
The
Awful.
People who were speaking weren't the legal counsel of the two companies. They were spectators. So there's a dude who promoted his YouTube channel over the stream.
Oh no.
There was a guy who just kept chanting Epic over and over again. Yeah, it was not good. So really,
glad I'm not in the corporate world anymore. Or I don't have to worry about Zoom calls and shit. Oh god.
Yeah. Oh, dude. So every week we have a department head meeting at my job with a Zoom call, and going through it every week just makes me giggle every time. People can never. We've gotten really good at it now, but there was a period of time where it's like people like forgot to like mute themselves or anything like that.
What button do I press?
How do I do that?
Yeah. So there wasn't a ton really in terms of real coverage. At least not that I've found so far. Really, it's been a lot of just like what's been happening. Tim Sweeney, the CEO of Epic, has testified yesterday. He testified earlier today. They also had Benjamin Simon, the CEO of Yoga Buddy Co., Ashi Patel from NVIDIA, and Lori Wright from Xbox all testified. Right now, it's a lot of posturing, trying to get what business standards are fair or expected, what the current understanding of the industry is, really, Sweeney's job at this point in time was to prove that him and his company were in the right. Because if people don't recall, this whole thing started when Epic decided to try to circumvent Apple's payment system, which takes an automatic 30% cut. And Apple then terminated their whole account, Fortnite account. I think they even threatened Epic's Unreal Engine developer account as well, which would have thrown hundreds of thousands of devs into disarray. So not a lot of hard-hitting coverage right now. It's a lot of just what we expect, arguments, and we'll see. The trial is expected to last 3 weeks, so we'll see as it goes on what kind of coverage we get and what the verdict will be.
A lot of peacocking right now by a rich company that wanted to stay rich.
Yeah.
And not share.
Which one?
Exactly.
Boom.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'll go around the horn and we'll just get some opinions. I really don't have much of an opinion right now. But I'll go to you, Padre. What do you think?
I'm kind of in the same boat. Like, it's a little early to kind of tell where things are going to end up heading with this. I think it's absolutely hilarious that as professional as this whole thing is supposed to be, they fucking forgot to mute people. Like that right there is like the highlight. Like you said, it's it almost feels like too good to be true. But then again, we live in a weird world these days, man. Like we've let some weird shit go untalked about, like the fact that there's like a Chinese rocket flying around the Earth once every 90 minutes, waiting to crash uncontrolled re-entry into the Earth. Nobody's talking about that though. But we'll cover that later, if as long as none of us get hit by it, I guess. But yeah, no, until we start getting more details, I'm gonna kind of wait and see. I mean, I'm always a kind of a fuck Apple kind of guy, but there's been a lot of details about Epic and the way they've been handling indie games and the Epic, free giveaway, like the free games that they give away and how much they actually pay the devs to be able to do that and stuff. There's been some real iffy stuff in the way they've been treating indie devs. I'm going to do more research into that and talk about it next week because it's kind of becoming a big deal and it's making me kind of pissed off at Epic as well. But until then, I'm going to kind of keep it reeled back.
Yeah. Hundreds. Do you have any thoughts, opinions, questions you want to share?
I'm kind of on the same boat as Rev. I mean, it's kind of just waiting out to see how it goes and kind of just turns out. I've had my fair shares of problems with Epic, and I have iPhone too, so I've had my fair share with them. So, I mean, I think both companies are just, like they said, they're just trying to stay rich, and it's kind of what they're doing. But yeah, I don't really have anything more until we get a little bit more into the cases and see how it goes.
Yeah. Green, you're up.
The biggest thing I want to see come out of this is I want there to be a little bit more leeway for smaller devs that make apps for Apple or Google, stuff like that. The ones that are struggling to get off the ground versus like Epic, who has like all this money and millions upon millions of downloads. So yeah, I want to see it balanced a little bit more. But mainly I just want to see it done because right now it just feels like there's an issue with the Matrix and everything is just fucking rocking the boat and it's tiring. So I just want it to be done and over with. Let's see the results, what's going to be done about it, etc., etc.
Yeah. So we're going to move from one antitrust case to another. I really need... Oh, where'd it go? There it is. I really need to get a sound effect. Like a lawsuit watch. That's just something I need to make. So this one is Valve versus Wolfire Games. So games dev Wolfire The creators of Overgrowth and Receiver have filed an antitrust lawsuit against an industry Goliath, Valve, who owns Steam. Wolfire claims that Steam's ubiquity in the PC games market requires devs, publishers, and other parties, if they want to reach the audience they want to reach, to be on Steam. Which, on its face, doesn't sound like a bad thing, right? Well, according to them, it is. They note that this arrangement is ultimately bad for customers because of the commission that Steam takes. Quote, in order to afford Valve's 30% commission, game publishers must raise their prices to consumers and can afford to invest fewer resources in innovation and creation. Gamers are injured by paying higher retail prices caused by Valve's high commissions. Competition output and innovation are suppressed in ways that can never be fully redressed by damages alone, they said in their filing. While Valve's lawyers and their defenders will likely mention that there are other games markets on the PC platform by Epic, Microsoft, CD Projekt Red, and Humble Bundle, Wolfire argues that those platforms hold a relatively tiny portion of the market, in part due to Valve's alleged anti-competitive behavior, even going far as to point out that most relevant competitor in the market, Epic Games, has done so by spending huge amounts on exclusivity deals and marketing stunts and still only holds 15% of the market. Wolfire is seeking costs, damages, and legal fees, as well as, quote, injunctive relief removing Valve's anti-competitive provisions, which they say is necessary to bring competition to the market and benefit the public as a whole.
Can I start with this one? I know I started the last one, but I don't want to lose my thought on this. So, this feels like somebody heard the whole thing that we went over a few weeks ago about Steam's whole thing of, if you put your game on Steam, you can't put it on other platforms for lower prices, retail, and stuff like that, and decided that they were going to go after. The reason that Steam outdoes all these other platforms is not just because they have certain practices that might make them anti-competitive. It's because they just provide a better platform. That like how many people have had issues with Epic? Like, how many people have had issues with these other Dude, I went and bought a game on Steam that was free on Xbox Game Pass on PC because Xbox's PC game launcher wouldn't launch the game properly. I could have had access to this game for free that I really wanted to play, but I purchased it on Steam because this other launcher wasn't working properly. Like, I understand that there may be a few things in there that Steam probably does, because every company does them, right? Every company has like that one or two things that they do that people don't like. Like we just mentioned, I was just talking about the thing with Epic and their free games deal and how it's affecting the payout to indie devs versus larger studios, et cetera, et cetera. But I don't know, man. This feels like somebody grasping at straws on this one. At face value, that's what it looks like to me.
Well, it doesn't help that Steam was also like one of the first launchers introduced.
And they're consistently good. Like, how many times do you ever hear people actually shit talking Steam as a launcher? It just doesn't really happen because they provide this. There's this like stark contrast between people having issues with competitiveness because of anti-competitive stuff versus just having the superior product. Having a good product, and that's where Steam kind of thrives on this. You know, they have the better product. I mean, what are you supposed to do? I mean, I think this one's too much. In personal opinion, this one's a reach. Sorry, I hit my stand, but it feels like they're just kind of grasping at straws for this one.
What do you feel about because what they're really going for, I think, here is the commission fee, which is, I mean, 100% related to the Epic and Apple situation that we just talked about, right? A lot of these situations come down to the commission fee that's required that these distributors take, and is it too high, right? Like 30% until you make a certain amount of money, and then I think it drops down to 15%. But yeah, I mean, if you're selling a game for $10 and they're taking $3 of that leaves a developer with $7. Do you think that does play a valid role in this argument.
I don't. It's hard. It's hard to really put that argument in place, because while Steam, is different than these other things I'm going to mention, it's also like a 70-30 split across consoles. Because that was one thing that was actually mentioned. I don't know if you saw, but recently there was a deal put out that there was a rumor that Xbox was going to drop theirs to, like, instead of a 30% commission, they were going to drop it to 18, and then chose not to for whatever reason, because Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox all do the same 70-30. And so while maybe Epic does take a lower cut, or somebody else takes a lower cut, it's kind of an industry standard amongst gaming consoles. So I don't see why that should make Steam have to lower theirs just because they're not a console. I don't know. It just kind of feels like there are things if you're looking at it PC specific, then maybe there's at least an understanding there. I don't personally think there's a case for it, because again, the industry standard across platforms is 70-30. Last time I checked, and if that's the console standard for gamers, why shouldn't it be for PC as well? Like, why should somebody on PC have to lower theirs below that industry standard just because they're at the top?
Yeah, and I will say, for me, when it comes to a lot of these antitrust cases, it's especially when it comes to Apple. Like, Apple is a prime example of this, where they have competitive services with the people who they also distribute, right? They allow Spotify to be on the App Store, but they also have Apple Music, which is a direct competitor, and they have Apple Podcasts, which are direct competitive products to Spotify. And so the argument there being that Apple will use their position of distributor as you know, guard of the walled garden to harm other services, or to basically reverse engineer these services and come out with something similar, or maybe not as good but free, in order to hurt those competitors, right? That's where a lot of this comes from, and I don't see that argument being made here at all by these devs. I don't see that argument. Really, what it comes down to, for me, what I'm seeing in this is the commission fee and the fact that you almost have to be on Steam for any amount of success, which, to your point, Rev, you're right. It's like Steam has just made a good product. When Epic's launcher came out, there was a lot of people who were not happy with it.
Right. And I will say, one of the points he made, while it's weird because it's a very accurate point, it kind of feels like irrelevant to the conversation whenever you look at it from my perspective, in the idea that they've done, Epic's got out of their way to provide these like massive titles for free and can still barely break through. Well, that's because they did it for GTA 5, and you still have to have the fucking Rockstar launcher. Like, what good does that really do? Like, a lot of people don't want to have to go through that many, that different. That's why I don't play Titanfall 2 anymore. I don't want the Epic launcher, the Origin launcher, and I have Titanfall 2 on Steam, but it was still going through the Origin launcher, and I fucking love that game. So to give away free product on your deal, but to have to launch it through something else, some people don't want to go through the trouble of having to do all that crap, downloading extra launchers and stuff like that. But it's true. They did try to, maybe provide some kind of competition to Steam by doing this, or getting the Kingdom Heart games, or buying Rocket League, and, and all this stuff. But the problem is, it itself is not, you can, the whole, polish a turd, it's still a turd type thing, but that's a little kind of extreme in this case, because Epic does have some good titles on there. But in the end, whenever you look at it from the perspective of Epic versus Steam, Epic just does not have the product. You can't just keep pumping titles out when the root problem is not your exclusives. That's like saying, like the whole argument again, between PlayStation and Xbox on exclusives. It's like, whenever you look at, you can have all these good exclusive titles, but if PlayStation was a shit product, or let's not even say shit, but like a very inferior product, those exclusive titles don't matter. Whenever you can provide an equally performing product, then that's why PlayStation wins in these exclusives, because they have the hardware right there at the top with Xbox. Epic doesn't have that. So it's a matter of, again, not being you can't look at Epic as the benchmark of, oh, well, see, they can't break in. It's like, yeah, because don't have the product for it. Again, they can have all the exclusive titles they want, but until your product is better, you're not going to compete. It has nothing to do with Steam, really. I mean, again, maybe there are some things. There may be some things in there, but to sit there and blame Steam for it, there's a reason that a game studio that even somebody like me who loves indie games has never heard of is the one, going for this, and not like a more prominent studio somewhere. I think what happened is they just like Epic and they want to fight Steam is all it is. They're like, well, by the way, check out our Epic creator code at Wolfire Games, But I don't know. I may have a very jaded opinion on this, but this just feels this feels like completely too much grasping at straws for me.
Mm-hmm. Hundreds. I'm gonna roll it to you.
I mean, he hit it on the spot. Like everything he said, it was literally on the spot. But yeah, just like you said, Epic is trying to, or I'm a big, just how he said about having all these extra launchers. That's why when I play Star Wars, I hate going through the Origin launcher. I hate going through all that stuff. I know I just played on my PS4 now because I hate going through all those launchers and stuff. I had the same issue with him, just like with GTA, so I had to do that as well. I got the GTA for free, and then it's just extra work. But I agree with Rev on kind of just basically everything he said is just kind of what I was gonna spill out as well.
Yeah, sorry I got long-winded about that. I just like as he was explaining the situation, I'm just like, the fuck is what are they even talking about?
Yeah, he hit on every point about just everything. So like I agree with him 100% on it.
Green.
Well, I mean, I don't think that this case is really going to take off. Because how do you prove that Steam is actually like cold cocking people with with these shady practices, because they charge the 30% like practically every other publisher or platform, and just because it's size, I think their argument is their size. Like that's their biggest key point of their side. Their argument is that Steam holds the market, but again, Steam was one of the first actual collective launchers, where you can buy all these games and launch them from that, versus the OG put the disc in, download the game, and then boom. So I don't think they have a case really. Like I would be very surprised if this made it anywhere at all. I don't think this is even gonna hit trial, to be perfectly honest.
Gotcha. Yeah, this
is an odd thing for us. Let's go ahead and point that out. That this is an odd thing for us to all take the side of the bigger guy.
Yeah.
Like that shows how, like, from our perspective, how asinine this whole thing is, coming from, what is it, Wolfire Games, you said?
Yeah.
Like that shows how asinine this is. We are always siding with the small guy. We're always doing that. And then this time for us to side with Valve, there's obviously something wrong with their argument here. Like I would like to point that out.
Lord Gaben.
But I'm just saying, like that right there in and of itself shows just how much we as a collective here have kind of rendered this asinine because of or believe it to be asinine, because never do we side with the big guy.
Yeah, I am fairly unconvinced. I have yet to really hear of allegations of Valve using their position in the market to harm competitors. Right? I've never heard of Valve like trying to destroy League of Legends or something like that, right? Or try to
Epic.
yeah, like Dirty Bomb was a direct competitor to Team Fortress and CS:GO. I never, but you could install, download, and launch it from there, along with whatever, name another first-person shooter, right? You never hear of Valve trying to do active harm to the people that are on their distribution platforms. So to me, right? That's a key part of this antitrust argument is, are they using their position of near ubiquity as the market Goliath, as the number one games distributor and marketplace? Are they using their position to steal information from competitors, right? Because Valve is in the same position as Apple, where they are also a game developer, or they are also an app developer in a sense, a service developer. Are they using their position to steal information, to actively harm their competition in that space, and to I'm sorry, what's the last thing I'm looking to say? Shit, I'm sorry. There's a third point I was gonna make, but yeah, those are like the two big ones that to me would be like, that's, straight up, that's antitrust violations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like what I said
emphatically, as we can see, I mean, as we've seen, and as you mentioned with like Dirty Bomb, the answer at the surface would appear to be no, they don't do that.
I haven't seen anyone allege that.
Right. I mean, and then you even talk about like, I mean, that it's they're letting other launchers put their games on their platform without really being dicks about it or asking for huge cuts. Because I mean, like Apex coming over and stuff like that. Like they're not destroying the Origin launcher by doing that. They're not destroying who owns that? EA? Gross. But when you look at it, in essence, like let's look at Epic for example, right? Like Epic is trying their best, not in my viewpoint trying to compete, but they're actively trying to go after Valve or after Steam because of the fact that they're trying to buy up all of these like high demand or at least high fandom titles. Like by doing this, I don't think they're even trying to compete. They're trying to go after Steam, and since they can't, people are just getting pissed about it. It's like, because Steam, again, last time I'll say it, superior product.
Yeah.
And I honestly, like, I don't feel, I feel like when a dev makes a claim like this, it's because their game didn't really take off.
Buy it at launch if you want a sequel.
Yeah, exactly. So like, but my biggest thing is like, did they market the games? Because like Among Us was on Steam for what, 2 years?
Yeah, for a while.
With like maybe 1,000 players, right? There was like no marketing for it whatsoever by the devs or the publisher until Dr. Lupo picked it up, and it became a fucking phenomenon overnight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So like, I don't think the launcher itself is quite to blame for that. Like you also got to market your games too. Like, you can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna throw it on Steam, and that magically me throwing it on Steam versus Epic is gonna make it pop. Because like, there's games on Steam that don't fucking pop. Millions of games that don't pop.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and I want to throw this out there. Okay, this is something that I've been sitting here looking at Wolfire Games. They're a 4-person dev company that have only released 2 games in the last 4 years. Like it's not like they're like
Overgrowth. By the way, I recognize Overgrowth. I've seen like Overgrowth gameplay and stuff like that. It's a game that was in development for 9 years before releasing in 2017.
Come on,
continue with your point.
That helped kind of bolster my point. Like this, I hate to be the guy that puts down an indie dev company because of how indie centric I am, but the fact that a 4-person team that has not put out very many games over the last however many years, it just come out of nowhere with this just seems. Yeah, now if some other teams that are more reputable can come forward and say, you know what, we agree with this for these reasons, then maybe I'll be more open to it. But when a 4-person dev team decides to just all of a sudden out of nowhere file a lawsuit with what appears to be asinine claims, it feels like publicity stunt. With them being as small as they are, it feels like a publicity stunt. Maybe they're trying to get Receiver 3 down the pipeline in the next 12 years. But I don't know. It's everything about this stinks. Yeah. Overgrowth 2 coming in 2094. We need to get the ball rolling on this now. But
so what I'm getting, Rev, is that you feel like this is a bum deal, huh?
Yeah, I think this is a bum deal.
You
But
know
you know what's not a bum deal?
Damn it, you beat me to it.
I saw you were going.
We got deals of the month for May 2021. I'll start out with Twitch Prime with gaming, which, of course, if you guys have Amazon Prime, you can connect your Amazon Prime to your Twitch account. You can get gaming with Prime. You also get a free sub every month, which you can use on any of these handsome boys right here. You can give those guys a free sub every month. But it also gives
first
you...
off, I don't like the fact that you excluded me by talking about handsome boy. That's just rude.
And real quick, before we get into the deals of the month, before I get too far into it, let me just remind you guys, if you are interested in winning a free game, if you are in the live chat right now, go on ahead and do !BIGGZ, BIGGZ. You'll get entered to win a pair of games. And then we'll also have giveaways on YouTube and Gleam. So make sure you guys check those out. Again, I'll go over that again at the end of the show. So Twitch Prime Gaming. You can get Iris the Giant until May 14th. Healer's Quest until June 1st. Beholder until June 1st. Do Not Feed the Monkeys until May 7th. So if you're watching this right now, like the day or two it comes out, get that now if you really want it, because it's going to be going soon. Edgar, Bok in the Bullsack.
I'm sorry, what?
What was that?
Bok in the
like
Bullsack.
I'm interested.
I'm sorry, but that sounds like a real weird way. Because what makes a bok sound? Chicken, right?
Yeah.
What's a male chicken? A cock and the ball sack. I mean, come on.
He got some point.
So if you're interested in Edgar, Bok in the Bullsack, that's available until May 28th. The Blind Prophet is available until June 1st. Yoku's Island Express available until June 1st. Figment until May 21st. A Blind Legend available until June 1st. That's all of your games for Twitch Prime Gaming. On Epic, you can pick up the Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms until May 6th. And then starting on May 6th, running through May 13th, you can pick up Pine. Moving on to Humble, which, as a reminder and disclosure, we are Humble Bundle affiliates, which means that if you use our link, we will get a portion of that purchase that you make. There will be a link right in the chat right now, and of course down below in the description. Humble Bundle has their spring sale with games up to 90% off. That continues until May 14th. If you guys use our Humble Bundle link again, we'll get a portion of that purchase. There's also the Legos bundle for $10. You can get 7 games, and that's available until May 6th. The last thing I have on my side of the deals of the month is GOG, which they're currently running a Polish Games Festival running until May 9th with games up to 80%. Includes games like This War of Mine, Frostpunk, Children of Morta, and more.
I've heard
Go ahead.
I was going to say, my fiance said that Figment is very fun.
I was actually, yes.
On Switch. So.
Dude, Figment is such a good game. Very emotional. Very emotional. But Children of Morta, fucking do it.
You looked like a fucking hound when I said Children of Morta.
It's so good. And a good friend of the show, Indy Falco, fun fact, that's how me and him met, was because of that game. Because I was so into that game that I was looking for other streamers that were playing it. And that's how we met. Dude, Children of Morta. If you, who is this? What store is this with?
GOG.
Get it. Do the thing. It's so good. And they just added a new game mode that makes it like a true roguelike. It's called the Family Trials event. It's almost like its entire own game, separate from the original. It's so good. Gotta play it. Get it.
Yeah. Shit, what I was just gonna mention. Yeah, GOG is also DRM free too. So if that's something that's important to you, there's plenty of games on there that are gonna be DRM free. Padre, what's coming up on Xbox?
Oh, okay. So the games with gold aren't that impressive this month, as they haven't been for a while. right now from May 1st to 31st, you can get Armello. Don't really know much about Armello. Well, okay, it says here a grim fairy tale board game comes to life. The swashbuckling adventure brings together the deep tactics of card games and the rich strategy of tabletop games, all combined into a character building RPG. And then you get Dungeons 3 from May 16th to June 15th. Lego Batman, which I mean, it was originally for the 360, I believe. Yeah, and you can get it on Xbox One and I think Series X from the 1st to the 15th of this month, and then starting on the 16th to 31st, you get Tropico 4, which is not bad. But I'll tell you, Game Pass is getting some good titles added this month. I don't know what's leaving. I didn't see what's leaving Game Pass yet, but Just Cause 4 Reloaded is actually coming to cloud, console, and PC. Outlast 2 is coming to cloud, console, and PC. Psychonauts is coming to all three. Red Dead Online is coming to cloud and console, and I'm really curious as how Red Dead Online performs on cloud. Steep, which is like a snowboarding kind of like stunt skydiving type game, is coming to cloud and console. EA Play is sending a FIFA game. Nobody cares. This one caught my interest. Dragon Quest Builders 2, which is like anime Minecraft, is going to be on console and PC. Final Fantasy X and X-2 HD Remastered are coming to console and PC, and then Remnant from the Ashes is coming to PC Game Pass. So that's a lot of really decent titles, in my opinion, coming to Game Pass. But yeah, that's what Xbox has going this month.
Nice. Green, what's going to Sony?
Sony is getting 3 games with PlayStation Plus this month. One of them is specifically PlayStation 5. It's Wreckfest, which seems like a racing style, almost Twisted Metal style game. This is Epic Crash. Enjoy epic crashes and neck fights to the finish line in Wreckfest. Drive hard, die last. So it's seeming like it's like a full contact racing, almost Twisted Metalish style gameplay. I don't think it doesn't look like you get like rockets or guns or anything on there. But for PS4, you can get Battlefield 5, which is the World War II massive multiplayer online FPS game. I didn't play that one. I'm waiting for Battlefield 6. And then Stranded Deep, which is a looks like an ocean style survival type game, where you're stranded after a plane crash and you're like trying to make it to like an island and see how long you live.
Yeah. That was one of the ones that Epic did on their free like game a day deal around Christmas or whatever. That was one of the ones that they did. It's not a bad game.
Yeah, it's not a bad game. It's pretty fun.
So yeah, if you have PlayStation 4, check that out.
Stimulates your mind.
Stimulates the mind.
Yeah,
makes the brain big.
Yes.
Big brain wrinkly.
More importantly, I know it's not this month, but Green, what's coming to Sony next year that's so important?
Sony is getting Discord.
What?
Discord integration.
Move.
Absolute power move. Because like Microsoft was talking about was trying to acquire Discord last 2 weeks ago, something like that. And then Discord's like, nah. Yeah. And just walked away from it. And now they're like, oh, we're going to partner with PlayStation, which I have to say, I'm extremely excited for it because I don't play on PlayStation anymore, but I still have friends who do play on PlayStation, and using in-game voice for Call of Duty Warzone or, Apex Legends is absolute dick.
Mm-hmm.
Dick.
And to be able to
in-game voice.
And to be able to clear that up through through this partnership, through integration,
it's a long time coming. This should have been 2 years ago. The moment that a company started, they were saying we're gonna start introducing a lot of crossplay, like Fortnite, Call of Duty Warzone, Apex, Destiny 2 is getting crossplay soon. This should have been a done deal a long time ago. I think Microsoft needs to get on board with this as well, because I know a lot of games are looking to continue with that trend of cross-platform play. and it's a great thing when like all these communities can get together behind one game. So making that dedicated voice server,
The dedicated wham.
dedicated, because like the issue with like most in-game voice chats is like it cuts out, like it moves from lobby to lobby, server to server. Whereas Discord is its own, it's dedicated server just for your voice. So like it never gets interrupted. It's a continuous line, and Discord has put a lot of money into the actual like the voice servers. So like what we're recording on right now, what we're streaming through right now is Discord, and it is one of the best voice platforms. I've used Mumble, TeamSpeak back when those were a thing, and Discord has been the best one, and that's why it's reigning supreme. No one uses Mumble anymore. Hardly anyone uses TeamSpeak.
Two things. One, why would you trust a service called Mumble to be a
voice chat?
to be a good voice chat thing?
It came from Battlefield 3. I was in a clan that used Mumble.
I was speaking in like general terms, like as a business practice.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of it. I think TeamSpeak was better.
I will say this one thing I did forget to mention during the Xbox thing that they did kind of release this week, because it kind of went under the radar with everything that's been going on for some reason. But now it's been made official that on Xbox you do not have to have an Xbox Gold membership anymore to play free-to-play games online.
That's nice. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so like Apex Legends, Warzone, all that, you don't have to have Xbox Live Gold to play those online anymore.
No, that's nice. That's nice. Yeah, because PlayStation, you still have to have PlayStation Plus to play any free game, Warzone, Apex, all that stuff. So that's really cool on them.
I'm going to go ahead and make the call that within the month, before May is over, we're going to hear rumors, at least hear rumors of PlayStation following, because that's just a good move. That's it does no harm. People most likely have these services anyways, but to be able to break down that barrier for people who maybe can't afford it, it's like there's a reason they're trying to play a free-to-play game, and so that was a really cool move on their part. I liked that, and I believe that PlayStation will follow that same deal. And they'll be like, you know what, let's do it too, and it's going to be a really cool thing to see.
Yeah, that's a huge move. So yeah, I'm pretty sure after they see them doing all that, they're gonna try to do the same, because I'm pretty sure some people that will swap over for that type of reason. So that's really cool.
Well, let's go ahead and wrap up the show here. If you're watching live, this is one of your last chances here to get entered to win a free game. Use !BIGGZ to get entered to win a pair of games, Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2. Hundreds. While they're doing that, go on ahead and tell us, for anyone who maybe missed the top of the show, who you are, what you do, where people can find you, and what's coming up on your channel.
So I'm Hundreds. I had an amazing time being on the show with the boys. Super appreciate the invite coming through. I spoke a little bit about Star Wars. Today we're going to be playing Star Wars as well on my channel for May the 4th be with you. And you can find me on Twitch. It's going to be Hundreds with 2 S's _ So if you guys ever want to check out, most definitely come and hang out. We're always vibing out. I do get some, sometimes we get some games with Green. And I most definitely will check out Rev and Danie. You guys are amazing. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, and real quick, just because I don't want them to forget, what about your social medias?
Oh, social medias is going to be the same exact as my Twitch name. So Hundreds SS _ for Instagram and TikTok as well. That's where I normally post my content.
Awesome. Green Elite, what's coming up on your channel?
Hopefully Apex Legends. I had to say that 3 times over because holy fuck. I tried playing Apex today. I sat in trying to get into a server for 2 hours. During that time, I ended up playing Slither.io and Star Wars Battlefront 2. So, hopefully we can get in there and play some Apex. I'm really excited to try the new Legend. I've played 3 total games today when the servers were kind of acting up, but they were still shit. Like you couldn't like select your character, can't buy the battle pass, nothing. So hopefully more Apex. I'm sure I'm probably gonna be throwing some more Zone in there. I'm really gonna put my nose to the grindstone for TikTok content this week. So yeah, you can check me out twitch.tv/Mr. Green Elite. Also on all those socials as Mr. Green Elite, except for Instagram, which is TTV Mr. Green Elite, because someone stole the name and I'm very sour about it. So yeah, and check out my TikTok. So
Padre.
Rev?
Well, I'm hoping, man, that I could play some Apex on Green's channel, because I don't play multiplayers on mine anymore. But now coming up tomorrow, I'm going to start a game called Cozy Grove. I was originally offered a key to it, but I didn't respond in time. And I was like, you know what? This game looks nice. They offered it to me. I'm just going to purchase the game. It was cheap. It's going to be, from what I understand, it's like 2D Animal Crossing with ghosts. I'm like, you know what? I'm down. So I'm gonna play that tomorrow night. Unless somebody comes through my channel while I'm offline and drops some channel points to change it to something else.
Something may happen.
If that happens, I'll go ahead and tell you another Zebo's Funhouse is coming twice within the span of a week, which is going to be insane. For those of you who don't know, because we haven't done a whole lot of talking about Zebo's Funhouse on here, I will be doing charity events this month with this guy. We play a lot of Dead by Daylight, and so that may be on the docket. But I'm going to be doing some charity stuff I don't think I'm doing anything this week, but this month I did want to go ahead and put it out there. I'm going to be doing at least one stream for St. Jude and one stream for Anime for Humanity in character. But this Friday on a different channel, on the Streamer Sphere channel, I'm going to be raising money for St. Jude, just as myself playing games.
Hey,
aside from that,
check your redeems.
Oh shit! So we're doing a Zebo's Funhouse on Wednesday at 7 p.m. We may move it up because I'm not streaming in the morning like I typically do. So I may move it up to like 5 or 6. That way I can actually be on earlier and not be just dead to the world by whatever before bedtime or whatever. I don't know, but yeah. So Zebo's Funhouse this week. We're also going to be exploring into. Honestly, this is going to sound stupid, but I may play Edgar Bach in the Bullsack. Because first I looked at the game and I'm like, shit, this actually looks like a good game. So who knows? I don't know. But you can find me anywhere, RevSpin TV, or you can find me on Twitch and YouTube at RevSpin.
You know what I would love to see is like a stream of Zebo playing as Caustic. I wish there was like a clown character in Apex, but like.
Caustic had a clown skin, but I missed it.
Yeah.
I missed the opportunity. Shit. But yeah, no, who knows? Maybe if somebody saves up those channel points and redeems, pick any stream. There's always an option. Make Zebo play something that's not Dead by Daylight.
I feel like I've just been robbed.
Dude, do you realize how many channel points you would have needed?
I mean, 75,000 was a lot. So it was a lot of lurking. A lot of watching.
Coming up on my channel, I have changed around my schedule. So my new schedule now is basically Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Tuesdays are the podcast. I did that to accommodate some new content that I wanted to do and some other things in my life that have been changing. Green giving a dirty look there. So what I've got going on this week is I'm going to start Friday with BioShock 2. I have never played it, so I'm looking forward to that. And then Saturday, possibly some Apex or Enlisted. I'm not quite sure which. And then Sunday, probably doing some Enlisted. I'm still working on a review for Enlisted. I think I'm going to wait until we get somebody in particular on this show in the next couple weeks. Other than that, you guys can find me on Twitter at Danie K. DANIECAE. You can find me on Instagram under that name, Danie K Media for TikTok and YouTube, if you guys are interested in either of those. Before we wrap up the show completely, let's go on ahead and roll some names here. Let me, Max is our first winner. Our second winner is our friend Elliot Argues. And our third winner, I'm pretty sure Biggs doesn't want his game back. Let's, why is it giving me people who are Dark Angler?
Let's go, Dave. It's my man
Dank
Dank right
Angler?
there.
Yeah.
Let's go, Dank.
All right. So congratulations to Dank, Angler, Elliot Argues, and our good friend Max. I have no idea how to actually pronounce his name.
Maximus Decimus.
Maximus
Aurelius.
Decimus. Got you.
Commander of the Phoenix Legions. Father to a murdered son.
If you guys want to win a copy of Lego Star Wars, go on ahead and answer the question of the week in the YouTube comments of this video. Who was your favorite Star Wars character? And then we'll also be giving away a game via Gleam.
If it's not
So-
Mace Windu, then fuck you. Mace Windu is so badass.
He is.
Well, Samuel L. Jackson is so badass that he told George Lucas what kind of lightsaber he wanted, and George
Yeah.
Lucas made it fucking work. Okay, Mace Windu is a fucking pimp. Okay,
Samuel L. Jackson's a pimp.
He's a pimp for sure.
So, answer that question in the YouTube comments down below. Of course, guys, every week we appreciate you guys who watch and listen. If you guys miss any part of the show, you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and everywhere podcasts are found. If you guys want to help support the show, there's a couple ways you can do it. The first, number one way is by liking, commenting, and subscribing on YouTube. Well, that's not really the number one way. That's the easiest way. But the number one way, the top tier way, is by telling a friend. Tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your dog. All the people in your life that you love. I think
Tell
that's
that
gonna
one chick down the street that gave you crabs. I don't care, dude.
Sorry, I got lost in my notes there. So
I
yeah,
didn't touch him. I didn't touch him this time.
it's true you didn't. I just got lost. Guys, have a great week. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Get your vaccine, and we'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.
I love you.